The next move in the Middle East could change the course of history. Tensions are at a boiling point, and the world is watching as the possibility of a U.S. military strike against Iran looms large. The stakes? The stability of an entire region, and perhaps the future of global security. The decisions made in the coming days could have ripple effects far beyond the borders of Iran or the United States, impacting economies, alliances, and the daily lives of millions. President Trump has made headlines, declaring that a military attack on Iran is still up in the air. His words have sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, as allies and adversaries scramble to interpret what might come next. The uncertainty has left both the American public and the international community on edge, with many wondering if this is a calculated bluff or a genuine warning of imminent action. What does this uncertainty mean for global security? World leaders are engaged in urgent discussions, weighing the risks and consequences of any escalation. Military analysts are poring over intelligence, trying to predict the next move. Behind closed doors, diplomats are working overtime, seeking ways to prevent a catastrophic conflict that could draw in multiple nations and destabilize the world order. On June 18th, Trump told reporters he may, or may not, authorize military strikes against Iran's nuclear sites. This ambiguity is part of a high-stakes game of brinkmanship, with both sides testing each other's resolve. The world is left guessing, as every statement and gesture is analyzed for hidden meaning. The timing of Trump's remarks is critical. Violence between Israel and Iran has escalated, with both nations launching attacks and suffering casualties among their top officials. The region is on edge, and every new development could tip the balance toward open conflict. The world has seen how quickly a single incident can spiral out of control, and now, the risk of a wider war feels more real than ever. For over 15 years, Trump has insisted that Iran must never obtain a nuclear weapon. His administration has repeatedly warned that all options are on the table, and now, that warning feels more real than ever. The rhetoric has intensified, and the world is watching to see if these words will translate into action, or if diplomacy can still prevail. Iran has issued a stark warning. Any U.S. involvement would trigger an all-out war across the region. With U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf and Iranian forces on high alert, the potential for miscalculation is enormous. Even a minor incident could ignite a chain reaction, drawing in neighboring countries and threatening global energy supplies. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts have stalled. Talks in Oman, once seen as a path to de-escalation, were cancelled after Iran withdrew. Diplomats are scrambling for alternatives, but no breakthrough is in sight. The collapse of these talks has left many wondering if there is any hope left for a peaceful resolution, or if the world is headed toward a dangerous confrontation. As diplomacy falters, the U.S. is turning up the pressure. Trump recently signed new sanctions targeting Iran's vital oil exports, aiming to cripple the economy and force leaders back to the table. These sanctions have already had a devastating impact, fueling anger and uncertainty. The economic pain is being felt not just in Iran, but across global markets, as oil prices fluctuate and businesses brace for further instability. The situation is further complicated by conflicting statements from U.S. officials. Secretary of State Marco Rubio denied American involvement in Israel's recent strikes, but Trump later admitted he had prior knowledge. This has raised questions about U.S. coordination with its allies. The mixed messages have only added to the confusion, making it harder for the world to understand America's true intentions. Around the world, people are glued to their screens, anxiously following every update. The question on everyone's mind: what will happen next? Families, business leaders, and governments alike are bracing for the unknown, hoping for peace, but preparing for the possibility of war. Will the U.S. take direct military action, risking a wider war? Or will last-minute diplomacy pull the region back from the brink? The coming days could determine the fate of millions. The choices made now will echo for generations, shaping the future of the Middle East and the world. As the world holds its breath, we'll keep you updated on every twist and turn in this rapidly developing story. Stay tuned as we continue to follow the events that could define a generation.